Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? I go by RB, and this is Philly Take with RB. You guys know what to do. Go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscribe if you're new, and ding the notification bell so you're instantly notified whenever I upload or go live. Today, we are back, and first and foremost, happy 2021. Welcome to 2021. We made it. What a way to end 2020, because we know it's been a crazy year for the world in general. It's been a rocky roller coaster, bumpy road for the Philadelphia 76ers. And if you guys didn't see this a couple days ago, it was crazy. I posted a little hype video on Twitter from, accumulating some of my clips from our play-by-play against the Toronto Raptors, which was a scrappy win. And Mark Zumoff, the longtime play-by-play announcer of the Philadelphia 76ers, replied to me. He replied to me. I never thought he would, but shout out to Mark. You are the GOAT, man. And I know we've only been doing this for 5 or 6 games now, but man, that was really cool to see that for this channel. So thank you guys for all the support. And thank you guys for everyone that supported me in 2020, our first year of really doing this. We saw the channel make some gains, and we're going to take an even bigger leap in 2021. So thank you, everybody who continues to tune in and support and like and comment and subscribe and all that good stuff, man. I appreciate you guys, and we're going to keep growing, man. So that happened a couple days ago. And then yesterday, adding on to that, how about maybe the best Sixers game I have seen, honestly, in years? In years. From head to toe, one of the best games I've seen in years, so polished. Honestly, for once in maybe my life, maybe in the last 10 years, I watched a full 4-quarter Sixers game without stressing once. Without stressing once. The Philadelphia 76ers defeated the Orlando Magic 116-92. It would have been even worse if our starters had played the fourth quarter. And we ended the last undefeated team in the NBA. And we put a beat down on this team. I mean, 75 points at halftime. I mean, over 35 in the first 2 quarters. I mean, on both sides of the ball, we played flawless. And let me tell you, when the Sixers play like this, with energy and confidence and fluidity, and on both sides of the ball are just locked in. I mean, there was so much energy, and there was just so much of everything. Floor spacing, transition, playing hard, locked down to everything. And most importantly, what we've been waiting for and what we've been saying, in terms of surrounding Ben and Joe with shooters. Shooting. There was a point, I think, in the third quarter before our starters finally came out where we were shooting 60.9% from 3-point range. And we finished at 45.5%. And that's because guys like Dakota Mathias in the third unit brought that all the way down. Now we know, right? This isn't going to always happen. This was one of those games where the Orlando Magic could not do anything, and the Sixers had everything clicking in the right direction. And it kind of happened to us a couple nights ago, but in reverse fashion when we played the Cleveland Cavaliers. But this Sixers team was locked in. We were honed in. And in every single aspect, in every area, every player, with the exception of one who we'll talk about, and in every single way, every component, man, was just A+ on fire, and it was beautiful to see. And again, what a way to end 2020 and go into 2021. If this is a preview of what we're going to see, I cannot wait. And we always talk about this team, and there's a lot to say when they're not doing well, but you got to give them a lot of praise when they play well. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So we got a lot to talk about, man. You know where we got to start. Man, I must have a crystal ball or something. I must have vision into the future, because 2 days ago, I put out this tweet, which got a lot of feedback about Ben Simmons, saying that, you guys know I'm the biggest Ben guy. I appreciate him, but I'm finding it hard to understand and come to grips with the matter of why he won't take a shot. Why will he not shoot an open 3? I'm not asking him to make his own shot. I'm not asking him to create off the dribble. Just take an open shot. And I'm confused, and a lot of people were giving me feedback. Oh, he never had a jump shot in high school. Oh, he never had a shot in the NBA. That is wrong. He did. And that's why we went ahead and we made this video where we were analyzing and just looking at some of his jump shots throughout the years and just wondering, like, this guy can be great. Why is he not doing it? But with support, because I appreciate Ben and seeing how he's improved every area of his game. All he has to do is shoot an open shot, keep the D honest, and this team can be a title contender. I'm telling you. And what does Ben Simmons do last night, man? Just after all that, I mean, what does he do? He comes down, gives it to Joe. Joe's going to feed it back to Ben. Danny sets the screen on the two defenders, and bang! Ben Simmons knocks down an open corner three, similar to the one he did against the Knicks last year. Crazy, man. Look, I'm not going to say it's interrelated and intertwined and that there's some coincidence and there's some connection. No, I'm not going to say that. But there's only one solution, man. And if it's not obvious to you, now it is. Ben Simmons watches my videos. And Ben, I appreciate you, my guy. I appreciate you a lot, my guy. You are going to be great. Ben Simmons has to watch my videos because the day that I put this out, the next game, he goes and knocks one down. He goes and knocks one down. And again, this is all we want. This is all we need. This is where you start. And it was wide open. Instead of the guy giving him space like the one against the Knicks, Danny just set the screen and the play was called. Thank you, Doc Rivers. We kept talking with Brett and why is he not doing this? It took him a couple years to even do it. And Doc calls a play again. I can't wait to see how this team looks 20 to 30 games in. And I want to see Ben shoot more because he only did it once. And we're going to talk about his stats in a second. But overall, man, this was awesome. This was awesome. He did it. Wide open three, and his shot form looks beautiful. I've been telling you guys, he has a jump shot. He just needs to shoot it and needs the confidence. Now, Ben Simmons finished this game with 9 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals. And you know what? I'm happy. Only 2 turnovers. Ben Simmons, a lot of people were mad he didn't shoot again. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. Well, guess what? He did lock down the Magic on defense, and he did exactly what he needed to. I don't think he needed to do anything else because everybody was firing, and he was just being a smart teammate. He had a good game. He was 2 assists away from a triple-double. He played good. In the circumstances of last night, Ben did exactly what he had to. I'm not mad at it. I think Ben played well. Now, if you thought that was just absolutely crazy, a crazy way to end 2020, feast your eyes on this. Because in the same game, Shake drives, gives it to Dwight. Dwight Howard knocks down a 3. What is going on? I mean, if this doesn't signal that the Sixers might win the championship this year, who knows? Ben Simmons and Dwight Howard knocked down a 3 in the same game. If you would have told me that, I would have bet my life on it. Isn't that? Look at Dwight. Look at him, man. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. I mean, how? When Ben and Dwight make a 3 in the same game, you know that we are just on. We are just on, and that's crazy, man. But Ben and Dwight both make a 3. Everybody played well. Tobias Harris, again, I got to give him credit and props. Another 20-point game, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. Usually Tobias has one of those crazy games, and then he fades out the next one. Well, he showed up and played well. 8 for 15 from the field, 3 for 4 from long range after starting 0 for 3 for the game from the field. Joel Embiid, 21 points. He didn't really have to do anything more than that. He was babying Vucevic. There was a play where he put it on the floor and spun around him and threw it down hard, and that was probably the quickest little move I've ever seen from Joel Embiid. He looks in shape. He's making that MVP case. And Joel Embiid, once again, he has not scored under 20 this entire season. Joel Embiid is locked in every single possession, and that's what you get with Doc Rivers. Seth Curry, 21 points off the bench, 7 for 12 from the field, 5 for 7 from long range. And this is exactly what we wanted. We've been wanting to surround Ben and Joe with shooters, and we got one in Seth Curry. It's going to take this guy some time, but man, was his shot wet last night. Seth Curry was draining him. And if we can, he's not going to put up 20 every game, but if we can get 3 or 4 threes out of him on a given night, That is what we need. And the spacing was there. You could tell the way this team was passing the ball. Joel Embiid, another thing for him, the outlet passes are just amazing. He's very decisive now. He either backs down his defender, and when they bring the double, it's instant reaction. Bang. Kick it out to the outlet pass. That is what we've been wanting to see. And when Joe does that, I love how Doc has established this identity. He's running it through Joe. It's as simple as that. Joe is dominant. Nobody can stop him one-on-one in this league in terms of centers. Nobody. So that's just my opinion on that. But yeah, Seth Curry was absolutely crazy. He's been shown up late in games. This game, he was just off to the rip right away. And I loved it. Shake Milton contributed 14 points off the bench. He continues to look great. And you know what? Shake's going to be in the starting lineup because getting to the one guy who stunk up the joint again, Danny Green, 1 for 4 from the field. He just doesn't have it. He's great in terms of a leadership perspective, and I'm not mad at it because we got Al's contract off, and Danny Green is going to be going after this year, and he's here to just be a leader and a mentor. He'll find his way to the bench. We will acquire pieces once we get closer to the deadline. But man, who knows what's going to happen because now we got all these pieces. Shake will probably be in the starting lineup because we know Ben needs that guard next to him who can create his own. But Matisse Thybulle, how about Matisse? Could Matisse eventually be in the starting lineup? I proposed 2 different lineup possibilities with Shake and Matisse before the season, and Matisse Thybulle finally looked like himself last night. Rejuvenated, moving all around the floor. He finished with 2 blocks and a steal, I believe, but he had a lot of intervention in terms of these passes. I mean, he was all in those passing lanes. Matisse was everywhere last night, and he hit 2 threes. He went 3 for 5 from the field, 9 points, and he was knocking down. And his shot, it wasn't perfect, but it didn't look too terrible. And if Matisse, now that I told you guys, take a chill pill. Doc said he's going to be a key part of the rotation moving forward, especially with Furkan out. And I told you guys, he's just waiting for Matisse to get healthy. And he looks like he's getting healthy. I loved what I saw from him. Imagine Thybulle eventually going to the starting lineup and Danny Green on the bench. And then you can keep Shake and Maxey, that combo on the bench. That would be crazy. All Matisse has to do is knock down the shots because on D, we already know what he can do. He's crazy. Everybody played well with the exception of Danny Green and I guess Mike Scott. But Mike Scott, that's just who he is. We saw Vincent Poirier off the bench for 7 minutes, grabbed a couple boards. Dwight Howard had 5 rebounds and obviously the 3-point shot. Isaiah Joe got a little run. A lot of the third unit guys who we're not going to see a lot got some run. But man, this team played well. Danny Green is the only one who's kind of holding us back. If we plug and play another shooter, whether Matisse develops or we trade for a guy or whatever, this team's going to be lethal. And if Seth can continue to do this and knock down, if Ben can take these shots here and there when they come to him, and Toby's the X factor. If he keeps playing consistent like this, I can't wait to see what happens, man. I can't wait to see what happens. Joel Embiid making his MVP case. And the last thing I want to talk about, actually, no, 2 things. One, Markelle Fultz. What did he go? 4 for 11, 4 for 11 from the field. And Michael Carter-Williams, the other process Sixer, went 3 for 11. He had more points than Fultz. Fultz finished with 9 points. He actually shot a 3 right after Ben Simmons made his, and it was off. That was his only 3 attempt, and it was off. And again, it was just one of those nights where the Magic couldn't do anything. The only guy that was really hitting was Vucevic. Everybody else stunk on the Magic, including Markelle Fultz. And again, I said this team would kind of come back into their own. You know, they might be on the verge of making the playoffs, but we know they're not any dominant East team. But they were playing well, and the Sixers shut them up in convincing fashion. We led by 38 at one point. And the last thing I want to say is Doc Rivers. Applause. You guys can tell me as much as you want that coaching doesn't matter, but it's the little things, fellas. It is the little things. Doc Rivers, the accountability factor. 2 things stand out. Number 1, we come out at halftime. We are up, I think, 35 points, I believe. 35. We're coming off a 75-point first half. We let up a couple easy buckets. And what does Doc do? Bang. Timeout. Right away. Flips the momentum, stops whatever the Magic have going there. That is what good coaches do. They don't let them get in their groove, because even I said, and everyone on the play-by-play said, it seems like when the Sixers usually get up a lot, they let the other team start feeding their way back in. Doc didn't do that. And the other thing, I think we were up 31 points late in the third, and Shake Milton was playing around with the ball up top. And what does Doc do? Bang! Timeout. It doesn't matter if you're up 2, if you're up 84, if you're up 31. It doesn't matter if you're down 56. Doc will not accept that kind of play, and that just spoke volumes to me, because he coming out with his clipboard and he's fired up, and we're up 31. We know the game is essentially over, but that is what good coaches do. He holds them to a higher standard. And that is my biggest takeaway from Doc Rivers. He has this team at 4-1. It hasn't been the prettiest, but overall, this team is just, these guys are maturing. They're growing up, and they're playing a better brand of basketball. And 5 games in, I've seen a lot of promise. And when we get to near the halfway mark, we're going to really take a look at this team. And if we're rolling, man, who knows what is going to happen with this team this year. What a game for the Sixers. Probably the best I've seen, honestly, in years. Again, I can't believe I didn't stress once during this entire game. Sixers put it all together. They blow out the Orlando Magic. If the starters stayed in, we probably win by 40. What a game from all different areas. Ben and Dwight both hit a 3. Maxey was even pulling up. His shot looked great, and everything was clicking. I have a lot of hope for the future. I can't wait to see what this team does. You guys give me all your thoughts down below in the comment section. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.